All right, I guess we're live.
Looks that way.
Looks that way. Can you guys hear us?
I hear you fine now.
Okay, good.
And no echo either. So
Yeah, no echo. That's a good thing. Well, I had a song programmed up. Yeah.
no song, huh? Didn't play the intro.
Nope, but the intro did
Yeah.
not go on.
I saw the
So,
countdown, but
yeah, it had a good countdown. So, welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you all coming by. Appreciate the CCA raid. Got a few people in the show. Welcome, Skro's Nest. Welcome, Eddie Lugo. All right, I guess we're live.
looks that way.
And I guess we're echoing too. Or we're doing a repeat. I don't know.
There's a new
What's going on?
open window. I don't know. It's not. I don't have one. So
Is that you, Randy, over there?
Yeah, it was. I needed to mute my channel here. So,
Uh-oh.
so amateur.
Mr. Dr. Shorts here.
Well,
Let's see
amateur
who we
mode.
got in so far today. We got Mike Land. Appreciate you coming by. We have Zach coming in. Thank you, Zach.
Troublemaker.
Yeah, always. And, of course, the incomparable Danny D.
Oh, another troublemaker.
Always.
Thank you
there.
for coming by. Hey, watch out. She might kick me out of my own show. Mona, thank you for swinging on by.
Come on up.
Hey, Mona.
And, of course, we have Trisha. Trisha had a great show this morning, or earlier today, I guess.
Don't know.
Yeah, Trisha, you remember Trisha, don't you?
No.
She was on the show last night too. She's kind of like Professor Melissa.
I have no
Oh
idea.
yes, that's one way.
Yeah. And of course,
Yeah.
Nicole, appreciate you coming by, Nicole.
Hola, Nicole.
Let's see, who else do we have in here tonight? Got everybody saying hello to each other. We have Charlotte coming in tonight. Charlotte Freeman, thank you for coming on by.
Hello.
Let's see, where else do we have? We got Cam Fam coming in. Thank you, Cam Fam. We have Leslie coming in.
Hi, Leslie. Hola.
And we have Linda Montmeyer coming on.
Linda Montemayor.
Appreciate you coming in, Linda. Got some more people saying hello. We got the Nightbot saying, hey, drop hashtag CCM. If you're on my channel, if you're in Eddie's channel, Eddie, you broadcasting today?
I believe so. Usually,
Okay, if you're in Eddie's, hashtag ELS or hashtag yo yo yo.
you got
And
it.
Randy, do you have Nightbot on yours?
No, but I'm broadcasting. That's something different.
But he's broadcasting. All right, yeah, because we did hear that repeat coming through.
So,
And we have Judy's Recess coming in. Thank you, Judy, for coming on by. Appreciate that.
nice to see that the audience is growing here.
Yes. We have extra small service dog coming in for us this evening. Come on in. Welcome. I'm getting down towards the bottom of the chat. Law Jones. Happy birthday, Law Jones.
Hey, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday. I don't have any
Wait a
fancy,
minute.
I don't have any fancy graphics like CCA did, but happy birthday to you. That's about as good as I can do for you, brother.
All right.
I think you're getting on a cruise here pretty soon too, so that's even better too. And of course, CCA is coming in on their own raid today. CCA,
All
appreciate
right,
you stopping on by,
Hey,
Liz
Liz.
and Chris.
Chris.
Chris is probably too drunk to be here, so maybe he can play it.
He'll just watch. Whoa.
And
Gotta watch-
DC
gotta
from the
watch my
Cruise
own
Tubers
feed,
coming
so.
through. And tripping with RB, Robbie and Beta. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Yo.
Fellow Arizonians.
Yes, they're a little bit north of you, aren't they?
Yeah, they're up outside of Phoenix. They're in Gilbert.
Okay.
Gilbert's known for having
All right.
IKEA. So.
Oh.
There you go. And Carl Hamilton, the Sausage King, stopping on in. Yep. Cheers to that, of course. And I think we're down at the bottom. So tonight we're talking about shore excursions. You know, taking a cruise is all about the experience. Some people like to get on the ship and not even leave the ship, and that's perfectly fine. Some people like to get on the ship and do everything off the ship that they can. Whatever your cruise style is, you do your cruise. So, with shore excursions, if you're an able bodied person, there's tons of them out there for you through the cruise line, through a third party, Viator, Shore Excursions Group, lots of other companies are out there. So, a lot of them you can do. So, we'll start with you, Eddie. Do you do a lot of shore excursions? Do you like to stay on the ship? What's your cruise style? What do you like to do?
We usually stay on the ship unless it's a brand new port or a port we haven't been to. If it's a port that we haven't been to, then we get out and we experience the port at first, the first time we're there. Now, we check out what some of the excursions are, but it all depends on the first time. We usually just, we just mellow out and learn the port. I have to be very careful which excursions we take on. When it comes to being in the water, I'm not too crazy about it. I have a fear of sharks myself, so I stay away from the ocean as much as possible. Yeah, figure me on a big cruise in fear of the ocean. But yeah, I enjoy being on a cruise. I hate the ocean. It all depends on what it is. Let's say it's a lot of walking and going up steps and stuff like that. I will not basically will not do it. I do have a scooter now, which helps me a lot moving around. And but at the same time, some of these excursions, I'm not able to rent the scooter with me, so that limits my ability to walk around. I do get
It's frozen every once in a while.
What's he get? What's he
legs
get?
from the way
You froze up there for a second.
Oh, sorry. I get very tired when it comes to it. If I got to do a lot of walking around and stuff like that. Other than that, if it's an easy, like I said, let's say I do a train ride or something around town. Let's say we've been to San Lucia and there was an excursion where we're able to hop on this shuttle kind of type thing and take us around. And we went to different stops, the beach and stuff like that. Stuff like that I enjoy doing. I know Alice likes doing stuff like that, so I go along with it. Now, when it comes to climbing and stuff like that, well, then things are more limited. Then I'll try to stay closer to the port as much as I can. There's a few ports that we do miss. If we're been there many times, we usually, depending on how the weather looks and stuff like that, we'll stay on the ship. Because sometimes that's when the only time I get to enjoy the pool on the cruise is when everybody's out. Then this way I could go with just with a few people. We go enjoy the pool, stuff like that. But other than that, we try to maximize what we can. Recently, we went to the MSC Marina Reserve Island, and we did everything on the island as much as we could. We did not go up to the top of the thing because it's 165 steps or something like that. So I was not about to do that, and Alice won't do it either. But we did enjoy land base on the bottom. We did everything we were able to do, except for touching the water. There were some I can't think of the name right now. Little floating things in the water. So there was a sign saying don't go in the water because of it. But other than that, there were some kids in the water anyway. It was amazing that they let them, but apparently wasn't too much of a threat.
Yeah, they're kind of like jellyfish, something like that in there. Ocean K, right? Yeah.
I do. I might let my feet get wet a little bit here and there, but that's about it. I mean, other than that, me and swimming out there on the ocean, no. So
yeah. I don't have a fear of the ocean myself, but I'm kind of like you. Sharks and I don't get along, and they say, yeah, they're nerf sharks. They're not going to attack you or anything like that. But a shark looks at me and they're saying, hey, that's a buffet. So and I see how people attack buffets. I could just see how a shark would just look at me. So. And we've had Antoinette at the Fun stop in, and we've had Scotty stop in from Controversial Cruising. And Judy came in also. Somebody named Skroback, you know that? Anybody here? Anybody like that?
Oh,
Nah,
that's
never.
it. Yeah, that's all
Nobody I
that.
know.
So,
Okay.
and Foodie came in too. Also, thank you, Vicky, for
I,
stopping
I
on
can't
by.
say that. I can't say that.
Yep.
That's my meal ticket. So
Got it.
she did tell me I was shrinking into the chair. How's that? That better? Like an old man just falling under the table here.
Yeah. So, Randy, how do you like to do it? Do you like to stay on the ship? You guys like to do excursions? What's
Yeah, no,
your?
we like to do excursions. Yeah, or even if we don't have anything booked, we like to get off and just explore around the port. One quick thing I was going to ask Eddie though, you said you get in the pool. Can you get in on your own, or do you use the lift ever or anything?
No, I jump in. I mean,
Oh,
or
okay.
come down the steps. But if I'm able to jump in, I jump in. I'm able
Yeah,
to swim and all that, yes. But getting out is a little, harder. But no, I don't have a problem jumping in a pool or any of that. So
so well, that's good because I mean, if you probably notice, most of the pools anymore have like a lift to let people in and
yeah,
out.
hmm
So
Right.
it
yeah.
doesn't restrict you from getting in the pool. So, but you're
I'm
talking
not there
about
yet.
getting like into the Gulf or the ocean, whatever. I really have no apprehension. My problem is trying to walk on the sand to get to
Mm,
there,
yeah,
or even gravel. I have a hard time walking a lot of times on gravel too. So,
yeah.
and obviously you're not going to drive your scooter down to the shore,
hmm
and that's not going to work. But
Even
anyway,
even with the with my walker, I can. I mean, my fear is of falling and finally breaking whatever's left on my hips. I
mhm,
don't have
Right.
any connection between them right now, so that's my fear. That's why you see me with a walker, because I lose balance, and it's nothing I could do about it. It happens.
right,
So at least the walker with it gives me a sensation of safety by holding on to it. I would love to walk away without it. Walk with a cane, even with a cane. Sometimes it could be a little difficult too. You
mhm,
might see me says that guy doesn't have any handicaps or anything like that. It's not. I don't have anything bad on the outside. It's everything's on the inside. That's the
right,
problem.
Right. And even a lot of places, that we go to have the beach wheelchairs, but
Yeah,
still getting in and out of those are not very easy. And having somebody push you around is still
yeah.
not good.
I will
But I
not
have noticed,
allow it. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't want her. I want her to enjoy her time too.
right.
That's what we're there for, to enjoy the moment. And I don't want her pushing me around on a wheelchair and
Right.
like that. No. Mm-mm.
However, I have seen some beaches, and I can't remember where they were, but they actually have a walkway all the way out to the water where it's a wood plank
Yeah.
yeah.
walkway.
There's some of them are starting to do
Finally,
They're
there's
that.
starting to
some.
do
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah, they got
Mhm.
some kind of a mat thing they lay out,
right,
and
that they lay out that will take you all the way to
yeah.
the water. So,
I haven't
um,
seen one yet, but I've seen it like in pictures. So
right.
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
So, Law asked a question: what kind of excursions do we enjoy? I have not taken any ship excursions off the ship. Well, I guess I have taken one. We did a St. Thomas excursion once because they had an accessible excursion where they had an accessible bus, but they book up very, very quickly
oh yeah,
Right.
and they're usually a little bit more expensive. So we were talking backstage, and I've got 3 cruises coming up between now and March. And out of those 3 cruises, my Celebrity Cruise only has one accessible excursion. My Royal Caribbean Cruise only has one excursion. However, my NCL Cruise has 0 accessible excursions available. So,
Wow.
you know, so if right now I do have an excursion booked that I've done privately for St. Martin, I've got private transportation arranged, and um, I'm going to a hotel out there by Maho Beach to the Morgan Resort, and we're doing a resort day out there so we can go watch airplanes land and stuff like that and
hmm
just enjoy the day out there. So, but beyond that, I don't really do a whole lot of excursions. We usually find something to do on our own. I know in the past in Curacao, We did a private tour where we went to the Curacao factory,
Mhm.
and they kind of gave us a little private tour in and out of that, where I booked on my own. So it takes a lot of research to do it on your own. And there are some accessible companies out there, but you really have to search and do a lot of background research, check the reviews, and stuff like that, because you want to make sure you're getting a good value for your buck, and make sure that they are a good company that and like we were talking about earlier on Trisha's show, you want to see what the cancellation policies are.
Yeah.
Because if you have if you have a ship that can't get in because of weather, if you have to cancel because of illness or something like that, are you going to be able to get your money back? Can you postpone it? Can you do whatever? Now, the one that I've got going in St. Martin, I actually had this booked when I was supposed to be on Celebrity Beyond, and the transportation company has a no refund policy, but they let me cancel it, and it just sat there. But I was able to postpone it all the way up until this trip coming up here in December. So it's been over a year since I was supposed to have it. So they let me do that because it just kind of sat there the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, that was nice of them. So which company was that? That was,
I can't remember the exact company. I'd have to look that up, but it's a private transportation company that's in St. Martin. I think it's called SXM Accessible Transportation or something like that.
Yeah. Because I know,
it's
like
relatively
Viator,
inexpensive. Yeah.
Viator is good about that. Like if you cruise, if the ship can't come in, they'll give you your money back. And I think a lot of times, I don't even think they bill you until you do the excursion. So, that could be. But in answer to Law's question, and I was trying to get you to do this excursion in Juneau, and you wouldn't do it, is that gold mine excursion. We actually went into a real gold mine. I had no issue at all. I drove my scooter in there. There was a young guy in a wheelchair whose mother, somebody was pushing him around. And it was just very smooth, and nice, and it was great. I couldn't recommend it more, So
And you'll be surprised, Lo, when I tell you that if I have an ATV in front of me, I will jump on it. I mean, I will freaking do an ATV.
Oh yeah.
But my problem is getting off of it. But once I'm on it, watch out. It's weird. There's steps that I will not do, but a crazy ATV that I could flip and be all over the place. I'll do it in a heartbeat. Coming up on our cruise on the Viva, coming up, we do have a few excursions to do. And there's also a way that, depending on the excursion, if Alice wants to do it, I will not
freeze on her.
Yeah.
She's free to go crazy too and do all the crazy stuff. I'll be on the side filming the stuff if I'm able to. So, get some content out of it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is too is just because you use a mobility scooter. I mean, you go to like Costa Maya or you go to Catalina Island, you can rent a golf cart, you can drive around, and which is really the way you want to see both of those places if you're gonna look around. But getting back to your original question about doing excursions and stuff like that, we usually do try to do an excursion at all the ports, mainly because here's blatant self-promotion. I like to videotape getting on and off the ship and show people how you do it with a mobility scooter and all that stuff, and then show some highlights of traveling around whatever it is. So, but the only place like our recent Alaska cruise, we didn't book anything in Skagway, or not Skagway. I'm sorry, Ketchikan, and we just kind of putzed around there, go to Creek Street and all that stuff, and that's how we took up our time. Also, our ship didn't land where all the other ones do. We were like 20 minutes out of town, so we had to take a shuttle into town. So.
Yeah, and that's the issue, that when people don't realize, because you two both have a scooter that can fold up rather easily. The scooter that I use is a non-foldable scooter, so you can't exactly shove that under a bus very easily. The scooter that I use weighs anywhere between 174 pounds to over 200 pounds, depending on what brand scooter I get. So that limits me to what I can do. And if I go with a private transportation company, and that's the same thing here with the states, especially in Southern Florida, they want to charge anywhere between $100 up to $150 for one-way transportation.
Yeah.
And I'm dropping all this money on cruises. I don't have that kind of scratch to do that, so I will find something to do around the port. The first time we were in, not St. Thomas, but we did another island. It might have been one of the Virgin Islands or something like that. But we just walked around. I just turned on Google Maps and just walked around.
Right.
That's what my wife and I did. So we just kind of made up our own thing. In Nassau, we started to do a church tour. We went around to the different rectories and say, hey, can we tour your church? And we went and did pictures like that. So, we do something. I make it a point to get off the ship every time too. I don't, I'm here for experiences. And, like stuff like Randy said, self-promotion. I want to videotape now that I do this, make memories. And that's what I really want to do. And and to show that you can do stuff that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to do it. So
yeah, I mean, now, like when we were in Skagway, we did book a non-accessible excursion, which was going up to Canada to a suspension bridge. So I couldn't take the scooter. I had to just huff and puff and get around there on my own. And I made it. I made it across the bridge, and I got up. And it's like you were talking about, Eddie. Steps are not my friend, but fortunately, the steps they couldn't have been over like 6 or 8 at the most at any of the locations.
Okay.
So, as long as you got a banister, I can handle that. So, but it was kind of it was a tough go, but I did it. I'm glad I did it. I enjoyed it. We both enjoyed it. My wife and I. So.
Yeah, when we were in Alaska in Ketchikan, we did the lumberjack show, which was accessible, and then we already had the Mendenhall Glacier tour booked in Juneau, so that's why we didn't do the mine, gold mine. And that would have, if we ever get back to Alaska, I'm definitely going to look that up.
Yeah.
And then in Skagway, we did the White Pass train, so that was really nice. And they had an accessible car, which was really good. It was a very good excursion. So,
well, that was our original plan, is we were going to do the train again because we had done it years ago. And I see that they did have an accessible car and all that stuff. And but then we decided we wanted to do this motor coach up to Canada and go see the suspension bridge. So.
Right, and that that'd be amazing. But yeah, but unfortunately, that's something that I would not personally be able to do. So.
Right. But one thing I was going to mention too is I've noticed here recently, and I don't want to sound like I'm a paid spokesman for Carnival. They have started offering more accessible type excursions. Right. So
one thing that I really like about Carnival, and it checks a box for me, is they have an accessible behind the scenes tour. And none of the other cruise lines that I've cruised so far has that, which I think is amazing because I'm kind of a nerd geekish kind of thing. So I got to do go up to the bridge, meet the captain, this and that and the other. We didn't get to go see everything that the regular tour got to see, but they had videos for us. And I'm surprised more people didn't take advantage of it. And it was basically my wife and I on that tour by ourselves. So it was really a great tour. And since we were a tour by ourselves, we actually had a picture of the captain with just my wife and I with the captain of the ship. That was our group photo. Whereas the entire tour group, which we walked in with them, had the entire tour group all together. Fairbrick Studio, appreciate you coming by today.
Oh,
I've seen you before, so appreciate you stopping by today. But yeah, that definitely gets a check mark for me.
Yeah, another thing, getting back to Viator, because we've used them quite a few times. a lot of times they'll say it's accessible. Other times we've called them and said, you know, here's the situation. This is my scooter, blah, blah, blah. And they'll say, yeah, we can accommodate that. And we had a situation where I can't remember what port we were in, but I pulled up and it was like a, you know, like a, not a minivan, but, you know, the old, like the old Ford type van things.
Right.
And anyway, I pulled up and there was no place to put the scooter. So this guy says, oh, hang on a minute. He pulls out a bunch of sockets, takes the back seat out, and we fold the scooter over, put it in there. You know, and I thought, well, it's very accommodating. So, you know, thank
Right.
you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, and I ran into that one time when we left. We stayed in Orlando, and the first company that I had booked with to transport ourselves from Orlando to Port Canaveral, I had a non-foldable scooter, and I said, I need accessible transportation. Oh, we got you covered. No problem. Okay, he shows up with a 15-passenger van, no lift, no ramp.
Right.
They just expected him to lift the scooter into the back of the van. And
Ouch.
yeah. And that didn't go very well. I mean, he got it in there, but it was a struggle. He ended up getting one of the bellmen from the hotel to help him and all this other stuff. When we got to the port, he had the porters help him get him out. I was like, this ain't kosher. So needless to say, that's the last time I booked with that company.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. Kevin from Tuber Chat, appreciate you stopping by, my friend. So yeah, it's you got to be real careful with that. And I've had the same situation. I've had people say it's accessible, and then I show up, and it even happened to me once on a ship excursion. I had a ship excursion booked, and I go out, and they say this is not an accessible tour. So they sent me back up to the shore excursion desk, and I got my money back for an onboard credit right then and there. So it happens.
Well, I've had, like, you know, you go to get on a tender, and like the older ships that they have, you know, they don't have an elevator to take you down, so you got to go downstairs. And they basically said, okay, well, if you can get your scooter down the stairs, you can go on the tender. So I fold the scooter up. The guys that work on the ship, they go, oh, they pick it up, they carry it down for me, and you know, and it's like, oh, very nice. You know, I didn't have to try to kill myself getting it down there. And I've noticed, though, what ship? There was one of the ships we were on, and they had actually finally added a little lift to it, so you could get down to get on the tender, you know. But
right, I've only had 2 experiences with tenders. And is it Roatan that has a tender? Is that a tender port?
No,
it's one of the Western Caribbean.
Grand Cayman does.
It's not Grand Cayman. It was one of them over in the Western Caribbean. It was a tender port, but I took my wheelchair because it was the first time I'd ever gone there, and we went to the port there and got off the port, and we ended up doing a private tour with went outside the port and got a taxi driver, and he just took us all over the town. So that was really nice to do that. It was Belize. Yeah, it was Belize that we did that. So Belize was a tender port. And then, you know, I had a different experience because you said you've done Mexican Riviera. On Discovery Princess, we had a tender, and I had to walk downstairs because I don't think they had an elevator. So it was a different experience for us. So we didn't really leave the port. So I even tried to get a one single day scooter rental in Cabo, and that kind of fell through. So they only rent to the resorts there. So, you know, I was even willing to take a taxi to get to a resort, you know, just to get a scooter, but then trying to get back to the tourist area and go to Cabo Wabo and all this other stuff. But I wasn't going to have my wife push me around in the wheelchair all the way over there. So by no means.
Definitely.
Hey, whichever channel you're in, make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribe, you know, come on by. If you're in Eddie's, join his channel. If you're in Randy's, check out his Patreon. If you're in mine, check out my Patreon. Your support truly means the world to us. So, what else do you guys look forward to your excursions? Now, are any of you afraid to book outside the ship, or what do you think about booking? Are you religious, booking through the ship only, or booking outside the ship, or what? You're muted, Randy.
I use Viator probably more than Carnival because they offered more, accessible stuff. And like I said, now that Carnival's starting to, I look at that. The other thing I like about Viator too is you're kind of limited, with Carnival. Like it's a shorter where you can make the tour a little longer if you book it separately, like through somebody like Viator. Or you can say, well, I don't really care about going here. Can we go here instead? You can kind of, make your own tour is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah.
I usually, with me, usually Alice is the one that books the excursions. She's the one that she does all the research and all that. She decides where we're gonna go. So most of the times I just go, yes, dear. So
yeah. When I first started, when I first started cruising, I was, tried to look at everything through the ship. But then after I got a couple of cruises under my belt, I was like, this is really limited.
No.
And we went ahead and booked outside the ship because I was like anybody else, just afraid not to be, to be left and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you have to look at it because Viator does offer a return to ship guarantee, and so does Shore Excursions Group. Wow. So, and the thing is, if a company is not going to be in business very long if they don't get you back to the ship. And you have to realize that a lot of these companies are the exact same companies that the cruise tours use anyways. And yes, you are taking a little bit of risk if you do book outside of your company, but you want to make sure, okay, don't book the last tour of the day where you're going to get back at 4:30 and your onboard time is 5 o'clock. Book the earlier one, wake up, get out of the ship, and go take the tour. So, that's what you have to do. And I'm one that if my onboard time is 5 o'clock, I'd like to be back on the ship by 3. I think the latest I've ever been back on was when we were in Skagway, because we had the later White Pass train, but it was through Princess. So if we were late, we were late.
Yep. But the other thing, using the train as an example, is you could go down and just buy a train ticket and get on it, because the train, if it's late, they're going to be late too to getting back to their Princess cruise. So kind of covered that way, but it doesn't work that way all the time. But for a situation like that, it does. So
right. But I did notice that they had 2 or 3 different trains running on that same track though too. So if it wasn't on the same one that all the other Princess people were on, then you could probably find yourself in a little bit of
that makes a good
issue.
Point.
Yeah.
It's like we have Paradise Beach. We're doing when we go to Cozumel, and although you have to once you get to the port, you have to go across and get on a cab from the city to take you there. We like to leave early anyway. Let's say 12 o'clock is our ship time. By 3 o'clock, I'm already going. Time to go, because you never know. That car could break down on the middle of the road too. Then you gotta wait for somebody else to pick you up if it happens. Then to bring you all that. So I like to be on time. So that's one thing we do. I know some of the guys are gonna stay a little extra longer because there's gonna be plenty of this. So let them have their time. But me, when it comes time to go, it's time to go. So
right. And I agree. And the thing is I like to do a lot of research because there's one of these days I'd love to do Paradise Beach, but I have not found any reliable information that says that there are accessible taxis available to and from Paradise Beach. I've had people.
That's another thing I'm going to be doing. I'm not bringing the scooter that day. I'm bringing my my walker.
See, but that's the thing is I need that ability to get around.
Yeah.
So, I've had people say, yeah, there's accessible taxis there, but then I've had other people come back and say, Chris, really, there aren't accessible taxis readily available. So, who do I believe? But, I'd rather believe that somebody that tells me, no, they're not readily available than make all these plans and say, oops, I can't get there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Even though they're whatchamacallit, they say you know, when they call that a bus, what I noticed in Cozumel is it's just a small SUV. You know, it's
Right.
nothing major. That a huge van that you could bring in and drop everything in there. Even the last time we made it to Paradise Beach, I had the walker with me, and it was just thrown back there. We were like six of us on a one just little car, and we were all stopped in. So forget about the scooter. Scooter, no, I'm not bringing it that day.
Right. Well, I mean, if I mean, since you guys are going on Viva, if you guys check out Paradise Beach for me, if I mean, just when you go out to the taxi stand or whatever, ask. You know, and if Eddie, you come back to me and say, Chris, there's no accessible vans available,
Yeah.
then I'm going to believe you more than I'm going to believe somebody else on the internet that just says, yeah, they're available. You know, or DC or somebody like that. So
It also depends too. They may be able to call and get you one too.
right, but if Eddie tells me that they're not available, then because
Yeah.
you know, if they can get me there, that's great. But if they can't pick me up, that's another story too. Because
Yeah,
then
you're right. That's a whole different story too. Yeah, you're relying on
right,
taxis
yeah,
to take you back. Yeah,
what time would I have to leave on my scooter to get all the way back to the port? You know, how long of a drive is that?
yep.
Trust me, I'd do it if I had to.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
Another fun thing is when your battery runs out and you don't make it quite back to the ship. And
yeah.
Hmm.
had that happen twice. So
Knock on wood. I've only had that happen once, and that was when I was in downtown Chicago. We stayed out a little bit too long, and I tried to charge when we were at a restaurant, and I didn't get enough charge to make it back to the hotel. So my wife and I had to put it in neutral, let's say, and get back to the
hmm
hotel.
yeah, we had to do that in Ensenada, and also when we left the Vatican of all places.
Ooh,
Because
wow.
we had to go from the Vatican out to a street where you pick up a cab, and I mean that was a long street to get out there. But yeah, I'm here to tell the story. So what can I say? So, so do you want me to tell you my luggage story now? The suitcase
Sure,
story?
let's do the luggage story.
Okay. All right. So before came on live, we were talking about damaged suitcases and stuff. And so I told him I had this story about when we went to Rome, and we got there, we got the luggage, and my suitcase had been busted. And so we talked, and they said, "Oh, you need to go over and talk to these people over here. They take care of that." I said, "Okay." So we go over, and the woman is like kind of sitting up behind a panel of glass. She's like in a little cubby thing, and she's talking with us, and she says, "Well, can I see?" And we show her the suitcase where it's broken and all that. She goes, "Yeah, okay, yeah, we can replace that. Yeah, no problem." So she gets up and she leaves. And we were like, "Well, where's she going?" She's coming out probably to bring us paperwork or something. And finally, a couple minutes go by, and she finally comes out from another doorway, pushing a brand new suitcase, and says, "Here." Oh well, thank you. What do we do with an extra suitcase? So, but I was impressed that she replaced it, like that. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of damaged suitcases, what a lot of people do not know is if your luggage gets damaged on your way to the ship,
Yeah,
sometimes cruise ships have services that can repair suitcases. Not all
yeah,
of them, but sometimes they do.
yeah. Actually,
Depends.
mine got damaged coming off of the ship, on disembarkation day,
Right.
and they managed to break up one of the wheels. I mean, it didn't knock it off, but it bent it out
Yeah.
of shape. And of course, I got the paperwork, and I never followed up. Blah blah blah. We're getting ready to go on another trip. Watched YouTube, figured out how to replace the wheel. Ordered wheels through Amazon. My wife and I put a new wheel on.
Yeah.
Easy. So now any more damaged wheels, we know how to fix them. So
Yeah. Now, one thing I do want to talk about real quick is something for our amazing Danny D. Is she is starting a fundraiser for her syndrome. It's called Costello syndrome. And I think there's less than 100 or less than 500 people in the world that have this condition. And she is selling popcorn to help raise funds to fund, I believe it's to help her fund to get to a convention for people who have the syndrome. So I have the link put up right now at the bottom of the screen for you to go to and purchase popcorn to help with this fundraiser. So if you could go do that, because I know Danny is in all of our chats. She's a super mod. She's everywhere, and she keeps all of us safe in all of our chats. So if you get an opportunity, you want some popcorn, need some popcorn, like popcorn, hop on over there to pick up some popcorn to help fund um, her convention. So that'd be amazing for you to do, and it truly mean the world to us and truly mean the world to her. So please take a moment to do that.
Yeah, she deserves the support. So
Yes, she
and the
does.
other thing is, if you don't like popcorn, buy it anyway. Give it to somebody. You certainly
Yeah,
got a friend
give it
somewhere
away.
that,
Give it away to
you
the
know.
neighborhood kid
There you go. Yeah,
for sure.
get him off your lawn. You know.
Yeah, or send it down to Eddie. Eddie will probably take it as long as it's butter popcorn. He likes that butter popcorn, or even the cheese popcorn.
Yeah, especially the cheese. So.
I will tell you one secret, just to you guys, all right? When I eat a lot of popcorn, I get very gassy. So.
Oh well, thanks for sharing that.
That's Alice's problem. As long as I'm not getting on an airplane or a ship with you, I think we're all right. That's what we can do. Send that right before the booze cruise. You have a gas powered scooter.
There you go. But that's between us guys, okay?
No, I'm glad that you shared that.
Nobody's watching, so nobody cares.
Yeah.
What the?
So, I mean, the biggest thing is, if you have mobility issues, just do it. Don't be afraid. You know.
Oh yeah.
So. Nothing to fear.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I will jump on a ATV any chance I get. So
Yeah. Well, I've done the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, like
Yeah,
in
same thing with a
Aruba and
golf
stuff,
cart.
and
Golf cart, I don't have a problem with it. The thing is getting on and off for me. But once I do that, the rest is nothing. Like they're gonna be kicking some of these guys on a racetrack. Oh yeah.
Right. H2O Gin, I have heard that about booking in Cozumel, but the thing is I've heard that's not very reliable for booking ahead. So, I would want some firsthand experience. Have you done that firsthand, or have you just heard about it, or what? Please let me know in the chat if you would, please. That'd be greatly appreciated. And then
we gotta get ourselves a
return
cab
trips
to get
too.
to Paradise Beach. So I'm definitely gonna find out
Yes.
about the whole thing. And good thing I speak the language, so I'll be able to really communicate with them and get it right. You know.
Yes, for sure. Looks like Gerald made it in. More to see is here.
Gerald.
So anything else about excursions you guys want to throw in? What else do we need to know?
Just ask, you know. Like I said, I mean, when I've done Viator, call them up, get in touch with them, send them an email. Can you do this? Here's the situation.
Also, bring small bills for tipping, for buying stuff when you stop somewhere. You might stop in, they might stop you somewhere to get a drink or something. So make sure you got some small bills. And try to keep your gold and stuff and the back in the cabin. Try to be comfortable too, depending on what it is that you're running around. Make sure that you got clothes that if you get messed up, they're gonna get messed up. So keep your head up.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about some of the cruise ship excursions is you go on these tours, you spend 5, 10, 15 minutes looking at all these beautiful sights, but yet you spend 3 hours at a shopping mall.
Yeah, and that goes back to Viator again too, because Carnival's big on that. Like, okay, get out for 5 minutes. Well, with Viator, you can say, well, can we spend a little more time here or there or something like that? And they do tend to kind of push the shopping mall thing, but doesn't seem to be as bad. You know what I mean? So.
What?
Bubble bath.
Turn it into a bubble bath.
Yeah.
See, you know that, right?
Yeah.
See?
She won't let you have it, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, it gets me gas. So, but
Well, the biggest
I
thing,
will
yeah,
enjoy.
the biggest thing is, get on the ship, enjoy the ship, enjoy the cruise, and if
Yeah.
you like to get off the ship, get off the ship. I mean, you're taking the cruise for the experience, and if,
Hmm.
whether you want to get off the ship or not get off the ship, you do you. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Right.
So,
Mhm. And
all
don't
right,
care what you're wearing or whatever. Just go enjoy it.
exactly,
Out with it.
enjoy it. And
You
the
know,
biggest
hey,
thing,
we're not gonna see you next in a few days. You're back home. Who cares? Just go and enjoy it.
Hmm.
Do it.
exactly. I mean, you're never going to see these people again
I
in
was
your
gonna say you're
life. I
never gonna
mean,
see these people again. So
Yeah.
you're going to see them on YouTube if I'm with you, or if Eddie's
Yeah.
with you. Everything's going to be on YouTube, or if
Oh
you're
yeah.
with
Well,
Randy, it's going to be on YouTube. But they're not going to see you again. So,
So they don't pay your bills. They don't take care of you or nothing. So screw it.
right, exactly.
Why worry about it? You know. Heck with it.
yeah. Actually, I this last cruise I was on, there was a woman, and this was your typical like old person move. She was driving her scooter. I couldn't get my camera up fast enough. She was driving her scooter. She had her left turn signal on, and she was driving. I thought, well, there's your typical senior citizen driving down, down the street. And I didn't know they had turn. Do you have turn signals on yours, Eddie?
No,
No, I don't either. So I just turn in front of people, and they better look out. So.
I just scream and say move.
Yeah, exactly. Beep the horn, and I'm coming through. So
You can beep the horn all you want. They still ain't going to move.
no, they don't. They don't hear that.
I don't. I don't. I don't. I don't play the horn because my horn is like beep beep.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, what the
That's
hell?
you
What is
know.
that thing?
But mine, does yours make a noise when you're backing up?
No, thank God.
Oh, see, yeah, mine does, and it's irritating. I find it irritating
Yeah.
because all I can think of is driving a dump truck or something, and
I'm telling you, having the scooter now it has been a, release for me.
hmm
I mean, it gets me such a much happier way around or enjoying the cruise now. I used
right,
to be such a lousy husband with a walker. Now with a scooter is like I mean big time freedom. Now I gotta
right.
slow down and wait 4 hours, but forget it. I jumped on that thing and I'm gone.
Well, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I before I bought my scooter, actually the last cruise we did before I bought the scooter, we gone to Alaska. And I was just miserable. And it was a family cruise, and I knew I was holding people up and blah blah blah, and people, oh no, don't worry about it. Yeah, right, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we
it's
just need
like
to get a big
opened
blowhorn
up a
for our
whole new
scooter.
world. What's that?
Get a blowhorn for your scooter.
Yeah.
It hit me when we did the Harmony Disease that I was on the walker, and
Hmm.
that deck number 6 it is freaking long, and I just kept stopping and breathing, sitting down, getting up again. I said, no, this is it. No, the next cruise has to be
Hmm.
something better than this.
Yep.
I got so start doing research, and I finally found something that I felt it was very good for me on their budget and everything. And I finally got it. And when I came home, I put it together. And on the Margaritaville is the first one that I got to try it out, and perfecto. So yes,
Hmm.
All right, everybody. It's about 6 o'clock. Let's go on over to the Nerd Herd with the
Okay.
Skro Moss Lugo raid. If you can remember all that, appreciate y'all coming by. Hey, we're going to keep adding names. Whoever wants to come by and talk. And we
There you go.
appreciate y'all coming by tonight. Appreciate the participation. And thank
thank
you
you
all
guys for
for
bringing me in tonight.
coming through.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate having you there, Mr. Lugo. You're always welcome. Appreciate you, Randy. And most importantly, get out there, book a cruise, get out there, book your excursions. And what you're saying there, Randy?
Make excuses or make it happen.
And what you're saying there, Mr. Lugo?
I ain't got no money for bail, so stay out of trouble.
Yep. And every cruise has a memory and it has an adventure.
Mhm.
All right.
There you
Y'all
go.
have a good evening.